Luke 10. I read from the Institute for Scripture Research, the ISR, because it takes a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Greek to English, and Aramaic to English. There was no letter J in the Hebrew, Greek, or Aramaic text because the letter J is only about 600 years old, while the son of Elohim, Yehoshua, died on a stake for the sins of all of humanity over 2,000 years ago. In a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Yehoshua is Joshua, and I strongly believe that the son of Elohim's name, Yehoshua, means Yahweh is salvation. And Yah is short for Yahweh, Yahweh, Yod He Vav He. It's like saying Dan, Daniel, Daniel with an E. What is the difference and does matters when people say that Phil, Bob, Sam, and Aaron are the same name? Because no, they're not, and no one in their right mind would ever believe that. And only a fool would believe that a hammer could force its creator to do anything. And Yah is the Elohim of the heavens and the earth, the first and the last and the only, and he's an extremely jealous El. He's so jealous that he doesn't even want the names of idols or mighty ones to come to our lips. Number 10. And after this the master appointed 70 others, and sent them 2 by 2 ahead of him into every city and place where he himself was about to go. Then he said to them, the harvest indeed is great, but the workers are few. Therefore pray the master of the harvest to send out workers into his harvest. Go, see, I send you out as lambs into the midst of wolves. Do not take a purse, nor a bag, nor sandals, and greet no one along the way. And whatever house you enter, first say peace to this house. And if indeed a son of peace is there, your peace shall rest on it. And if not, it shall return to you. And stay in the same house, and eating and drinking whatever with them, for the laborer is worthy of his wages. Do not move from house to house, and into whatever city you enter, and they receive you, eat whatever is placed before you. And heal the sick there, and say to them, the reign of Elohim has come near to you. And into whatever city you enter, and they do not receive you, go out into its streets, and say, even the dust of your city, which clings to us, we wipe off against you. But know this, that the reign of Elohim has come near to you. And I say to you that it shall be more bearable for Sodom, S-E-D with a line underneath of it, O-M, in that day, capital D in day, than for that city. They're talking about Judgment Day, when Yehoshua returns, and his father is the judge, and he is the lawyer. He either knows you or he doesn't know you. Woe to you, Chorazin, K-O-R-A-Z-I-N. Woe to you, Bethsaida, for if the miracles which were done in you had been done in Sor, T-S-O-R, and Sidon, T-S-I-D, with a line underneath of it, O-N. Bethsaida is B-E with a half a check mark, Y-T-H, and Sada is T-S-A-I-D with a line underneath of it, A. For if the miracles which were done in you had been done in Sor and Sidon, they would have repented long ago, sitting in sackcloth and ashes. But it shall be more bearable for Sor and Sidon at the judgment than for you. And you, Kephaneum, who are exalted to the heaven, shall be brought down to Sheol. Isaiah 14:13 and 15. So just read 13 to 15. I don't know why you would skip a verse. That's when things stop making sense, when people skip verses or they only read a verse. I understand in this it says that there, and then on the next verse, but skipping 14, but still read 13 to 15, not 13 and 15. It'll make more sense. He who hears you hears me. He who rejects you rejects me, and he who rejects me rejects him who sent me. And the 70 returned with joy, saying, Master, even the demons are subject to us in your name. And he said to them, I saw Satan falling out of the heaven as lightning. See, I give you the authority to trample on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and none at all shall hurt you. But do not rejoice in this, that the spirits are subject to you, but rather rejoice because your names have been written in the heavens. In that hour Yehoshua exalted in the Spirit, capital S, in the Spirit, and said, I praise you, Father, Master of the heaven and of the earth, that you have hidden these matters from clever and learned ones, and did reveal them to babes. Yes, Father, because thus it was well pleasing in your sight. All has been delivered to me by my Father, and no one knows who the Son is except the Father, and who the Father is except the Son, and he to whom the Son wishes to reveal him. And turning to his taught ones, he said separately, Blessed are the eyes that see what you see. For I say to you that many prophets and sovereigns have wished to see what you see and have not seen it, and to hear what you hear and have not heard it. And see, a certain one learned in the Torah stood up, trying him, and saying, Teacher, what shall I do to inherit everlasting life? And he said to them, What has been written in the Torah? How do you read it? And he answering said, You shall love YahWeh your Elohim with all your heart, and with all your being, and with all your strength, and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself. And he said to him, You have answered rightly. Do this, and you shall live. But he, wishing to declare himself righteous, said to Yehoshua, And who is my neighbor? And replying, Yehoshua said, A certain man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho, Yerih with a dot O, which is Jericho, and fell among robbers, who both stripping and beating him went away, leaving him half dead. And by a coincidence, a certain priest was going down that way, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side, and likewise a Levite also, L-E with a half a check mark, W-I-T-E. The only difference is Levite. And likewise the Levite also, when he came to the place and seen, passed by on the other side. But a certain Shamaroni, C 1718. Oh. And it's going to tell me to go back to this one. It's like, hey, what's the definition of riding? To ride something. Oh, thanks, stupid. That doesn't help me at all. Anyways, Shomeroni is Shomeroni. Journeying came upon him, and when he saw him, he had compassion on him, and he went to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring on oil and wine, and having placed him on his own breast, he brought him to an inn and looked after him. And going out on the next day, he took out 2 denarii, gave them to the innkeeper, and said to him, Look after him, and whatever more you spend I shall repay you when I return. Who then of these 3 do you think was neighbor to him who fell among the robbers? Obviously the one who helped him. And he said, He who showed compassion on him. Then Yehoshua said to him, Go and do likewise. And it came to be, as they went, that he entered into a certain village, and a certain woman named Martha, Martha, received him into her house. And she had a sister called Miriam, Miryam, who also sat at the feet of Yehoshua and heard his word. But Martha was distracted with much serving, and coming up she said, Master, are you not concerned that my sister has left me to serve alone? Speak to her then to help me. And Yehoshua answering said to her, Martha, Martha, are you worried and troubled about many matters? But only one is necessary, and Miriam has chosen the good portion, which shall not be taken away from her. Can you get her to come help me? It's a lot of work. Listen, boyo. She chose a righteous path, and it will not be taken from her. That's all I got to say to that. A little whistle. That was beautiful.